Welcome to At the Public Library for January 1994. At the Public Library features news and special reports about the San Francisco Public Library system and listings of upcoming library programs for children, teens, and adults. If you enjoy children and children's books and have a desire to help others, you may be interested in participating in the Book Buddies program. Trained by the San Francisco Public Library, Book Buddies are very special volunteers who bring stories, poems, and library services to children in San Francisco hospitals. Using a variety of techniques, including puppetry, felt board stories, and music, Book Buddies offer comfort and support to hospitalized children. Book Buddy training sessions are given 3 times a year by the San Francisco Public Library's Office of Children's Services. The next training will be held Tuesday, February 8th from 5 to 9 p.m. in the Lurie Room of the main library. If you are interested in this important and rewarding program, call the volunteer coordinator of the Friends of the San Francisco Public Library at 557-4256.
The beautiful Richmond Branch Library, located at 351 9th Avenue, is open Tuesdays and Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., Wednesday with evening hours from 1 to 9 p.m., and Thursdays and Fridays from 1 to 6 p.m. The Richmond Branch Children's Room is open Thursdays and Fridays from 2 to 6 p.m., and Tuesdays and Saturdays, 10 to 6 p.m., with Wednesday evening hours 2 to 8 p.m. Located atop Potrero Hill at 1616 20th Street, the Potrero Branch Library is open Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays from 1 to 6 p.m., and Wednesdays from 1 to 8 p.m. Located across the street from Stonestown, the Merced Branch Library at 155 Winston Drive is open Mondays and Tuesdays from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., Wednesdays with evening hours from 1 to 9 p.m., and Thursdays and Fridays from 1 to 6 p.m. Want to learn how to read? Want to help someone else learn to read? Contact Project Read of the San Francisco Public Library at 557-4388. Project Read is an adult literacy program that provides volunteer one-to-one tutoring for adult learners. Project Read's support of tutors and students includes tutor orientation and training, continuing education workshops for tutors and students, reading diagnostics for students, family programs, and referrals to classroom instruction at community college centers and to other agencies in the community. There are many ways you can help adults achieve their personal reading goals. Call Project Read to find out how. Learn to read or be a reading tutor. Phone 557-4388.
Here's some news and notes of interest about the San Francisco Public Library system for January 1994. The temporary site of the Chinatown Branch Library, located at 445 Grant Avenue, is scheduled to begin operations on January 11th with a grand opening celebration featuring lion dancers and a ribbon-cutting ceremony. At the Public Library recently paid a visit to the temporary site, located on Grant Avenue, just a few doors up from Bush Street, and found the fantastic staff of the Chinatown Branch Library hard at work preparing the site for the opening. And they assured at the Public Library that all would be ready come January 11th. The Chinatown Branch Library will be housed in this temporary location for approximately 2 years while the Chinatown Branch Library building on Powell Street undergoes extensive renovation and remodeling, which will more than double its size. The hours of operation for the Chinatown Branch Library on 445 Grant Avenue are Tuesdays and Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., Wednesdays from 1 to 9 p.m., and Thursdays and Fridays from 1 to 6 p.m. Another grand opening celebration takes place on Tuesday, January 25th, as the main library celebrates the opening of the International Languages collection with performances by a variety of international artists. Scheduled to appear are the Lao Language School Dance Troupe, Reina del Rio, performing music from Mexico and Central and South America. Liao Dong will perform on the Vietnamese zither. And rounding out the festivities will be a musical performance by the Chinatown Community Arts Program. The celebration begins at 4 p.m. with activities scheduled to take place in the second floor rotunda, the children's department, and the Lurie Room. Come join the celebration of the International Languages Collection grand opening, Tuesday, January 25th, from 4 to 7 p.m. at the Main Library, Civic Center. The San Francisco Public Library Commission meetings are open to the public. The full commission meets the first Tuesday of the month at 4:30 p.m. in the Lurie Room, first floor, Main Library. Committee meetings also meet in the Lurie Room. The Building and Facilities Committee meets the first Tuesday of the month at 3 p.m. The Finance Committee meets the third Tuesday of the month at 3:30 p.m. And the Planning Committee meets the third Wednesday of the month at 3:30 p.m. Meeting dates and times may change. Please call 557-4233 for specific information. All of San Francisco's public libraries will be closed on Monday, January 17th, in observation of the Martin Luther King Jr. To read more about Martin Luther King Jr., check out these titles available at the San Francisco Public Library. Martin Luther King Jr., To the Mountaintop, by William Roger Witherspoon. Let the Trumpet Sound, The Life of Martin Luther King Jr., by Stephen B. Oates. And Martin Luther King Jr., a documentary, Montgomery to Memphis, edited by Flip Schulke. The main library has a large collection of non-fiction VHS video cassettes available for borrowing. Included in the collection are programs about Martin Luther King Jr. and the Civil Rights Movement. Come to the main library's Lurie Room for a free noontime video program. Ethics in the Modern World is the topic of this month's programs. On January 6th, it's Do Unto Others from the Ethics in America series. Distinguished panelists discuss the questions of community responsibility. January 13th, Does Doctor Know Best? Also from the Ethics in America series. It's a discussion of controversies created by modern medicine. On January 20th, it's Caring for an Endangered Planet from the How Then Shall We Live series. Helen Caldicott discusses the work required to preserve our planet in the nuclear age. And finally, on January 27th, Social Action and the Compassionate Heart, also from the How Then Shall We Live series. Ram Dass speaks of developing compassion in individual lives, in communities, and in the world. All programs are approximately 1 hour long.
The San Francisco Public Library's services for the deaf and hearing impaired are located on the second floor of the main library in the Civic Center. Staffed with personnel fluent in American Sign Language, the services for the deaf and hearing impaired contain numerous resources for and about the deaf and hearing impaired. Deaf services may be reached via TTD at phone number 557-4433 or voice phone at 557-4434. Hours of operation are Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday from 12 noon to 6 p.m. and Tuesdays from noon to 9 p.m. Herb Cain's favorite branch library, the Golden Gate Valley branch at 1801 Green Street, has open hours Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays from 1 to 6 p.m. and Wednesdays 2 to 7 p.m. The Marina Branch Library, located at 1890 Chestnut Street, has open hours Tuesdays and Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., Wednesday with evening hours 1 to 9 p.m., and Thursdays and Fridays from 1 to 6 p.m.
Welcome to Citiwatch, San Francisco's government access television channel. Hello, I'm Supervisor Angela Alioto, the President of the Board of Supervisors. Citiwatch is a valuable resource for the citizens of San Francisco. It will be used for many purposes, including coverage of public meetings, information during emergencies, and notification of city meetings and services. Future uses of the channel may include teleconferencing and data transmission. The primary goal of Citiwatch is to expand your awareness of local government and the decision-making process. Thank you very much for watching.
Looking for a great deal on books? Then drop by the Book Bay bookstore in Fort Mason. Operated by the Friends of the San Francisco Public Library, the Book Bay bookstore offers great prices on used books, records, and tapes. There's something for everybody at the Book Bay, and all proceeds of the Book Bay benefit the Friends of the San Francisco Public Library. The Book Bay bookstore is located in the Fort Mason complex, Building C, on the first floor. The store is open Wednesdays and Fridays from 11 to 5, Thursdays 11 to 8, and Saturdays and Sundays again from 11 to 5. The Book Bay also welcomes donations of books. If you have books you'd like to donate, call the Friends of the San Francisco Public Library at 557-4257 for more information. So, now you know, that's bargain books at the Book Bay bookstore, Fort Mason, Building C.
Check out the library's programs for infants and toddlers. In the children's room of the main library, come for a lap sit at 10:30 a.m. on Saturdays. The Anza branch, Wednesdays at 7:15 p.m. Chinatown branch, call for dates, Saturdays at 10 a.m. Merced branch, Tuesdays at 10 a.m. In the Mission, Saturdays at 11 a.m. Noe Valley Sally Brunn branch, Wednesday evenings at 7. In North Beach, Tuesdays at 10:15 a.m., except for the third Tuesday of the month. In the Parkside, Tuesdays at 10 a.m. Potrero Branch, Thursdays at 1:30 p.m. Richmond Branch, Saturdays at 10:30 a.m. Call for dates. The Sunset Branch asks for you to call for the schedule for lap sit. West Portal, 10:30 a.m. on Saturdays. And Western Edition, 10:30 a.m. on Saturdays. That's the Lapsit program, stories, songs, and rhymes for infants and toddlers.
Celebrate the Chinese New Year at the San Francisco Public Library on Saturday, January 22nd and Saturday, January 29th. The Year of the Dog, Lunar Year 4692, will be welcomed in grand style at various San Francisco Public Library locations. The Lion Dance programs are performed by the Chinese Physical Culture Association and are a delightful event for people of all ages. You can join in on this annual San Francisco Public Library tradition on Saturday, January 22nd at the following locations. 11 a.m. at the Excelsior Branch, 4400 Mission Street. At 12 noon, the Lion Dancers visit West Portal Library at 190 Lenox Way. 1 p.m. at the Ortega Branch, 3223 Ortega Street. (2 p.m. at the Sunset Branch, 1305 18th Avenue. 3 p.m. at the Anza Branch, 550 37th Avenue. And the final performance for January 22nd takes place at the Richmond Branch at 4 p.m. The Lion Dancers will perform again on Saturday, January 29th at these locations. 11 a.m. at the Western Edition Branch, 1550 Scott Street. The Lion Dancers perform at the Chinatown Branch temporary location at 445 Grant Avenue at 12 noon. At 1 p.m. at the main library, Civic Center. and at 2 p.m. at the Potrero branch, 1660 20th Street. The Lion Dancers will appear at the Noe Valley branch at 451 Jersey Street at 3 p.m. And the final performance on Saturday, January 29th, takes place at 4 p.m. at the Bernal Branch Library, 500 Cortlandt Avenue. This event is being funded by the Friends of the San Francisco Public Library. The Ingleside Reading Center, just off Ocean Avenue at 387 Ashton Avenue, is open Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays from 1 to 6, and Wednesdays from 2 to 7 p.m. Located next to the West Sunset Playground, the Ortega Branch Library is located at 3223 Ortega Street, and the hours of operation are Tuesdays and Saturdays from 10 to 6, Wednesdays with evening hours from 1 to 9 p.m., and Thursdays and Fridays from 1 to 6.
Located in San Francisco's Castro District, the Eureka Valley Harvey Milk Memorial Branch Library is on 3555 16th Street, with open hours Mondays, Thursdays, and Fridays from 1 to 6 p.m., Tuesdays from 10 to 6 p.m., and Wednesdays from 1 to 9 p.m. Join us at the library for Story Time for boys and girls ages 3 to 5 in the main library's children's room Saturday mornings at 10:30. Anza Branch Tuesdays at 10:30 a.m. At the Bayview Wadden Tuesdays 10:30 a.m. And at the Bernal Branch Tuesdays 10:30 a.m. and Wednesday evenings at 7:30 p.m. In Chinatown, please call the children's librarian at 274-0275 for Storytime hours. The Eureka Valley branch has Storytime Tuesdays at 10:30 in the morning. And in the Excelsior, Tuesdays at 11 a.m. in the morning. Storytime at the Marina branch is Tuesdays at 10:30 a.m. And come to the Merced Branch Library for afternoon story time, Thursdays at 2 p.m. In the Mission, Saturdays at 12 noon for Spanish story time. In North Beach, story time is 10:45 a.m. on Tuesdays, except for the third Tuesday of the month. The Ortega Branch has story time Tuesdays at 10:30 a.m. And the Park Branch, Tuesdays at 11 a.m. Come to Parkside, also at Tuesdays, 11 a.m. for story time. And Potrero has evening hours, 7 p.m. on Wednesdays. Richmond has 2 story time schedules, Tuesdays at 11 a.m. and Wednesday evenings at 7 p.m. In the newly reopened Sunset Branch, Tuesdays at 10:30 a.m. for story time. And Noe Valley Sally Brunn come for story time Tuesday mornings at 10 a.m. In the West Portal, Tuesdays at 10:30 a.m. and Wednesdays 7 p.m. Western Addition Branch, Tuesdays at 10 a.m. and Saturdays at 11:30 a.m. Story time at your public library.
Wow, it's a Scrabble tournament Friday, January 28th at the main library's children's department. Hey kids, bored with Nintendo? Why not try your hand at Scrabble? You could win a prize and definitely have lots of fun. Children 6 to 16 are invited to join in and must sign up by Wednesday, January 26th at the main children's department. Call 557-4554 for more Scrabble tournament information. Located in the heart of the Mission at 3359 24th Street, the Mission Branch Library is open on Tuesdays and Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., Wednesday afternoons and evenings from 1 to 9 p.m., and Thursdays and Fridays from 1 to 6 p.m. The Children's Room at the Mission Branch Library is open on Monday, Thursday, and Friday afternoons from 2 to 6 p.m. Tuesdays and Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., and Wednesday afternoons and evenings from 2 to 8 p.m. Located in the Outer Mission, the Excelsior Branch Library at 4400 Mission Street is open Tuesdays and Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., Wednesdays with evening hours from 1 to 9 p.m., and Thursdays and Fridays from 1 to 6 p.m. An example of one of San Francisco's many beautiful Carnegie-era branch libraries, the Bernal Branch is located on 500 Cortlandt Avenue. It is open on Tuesdays from 10 to 12 noon, closed for lunch, and then open again from 1 to 6. On Wednesdays from 1 till 9 in the evening, and Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays from 1 to 6 p.m. On Wednesday, January 19th, the Noe Valley Branch Library presents Sergei Eisenstein's classic film, Battleship Potemkin. Eisenstein's Potemkin is a vivid account of the mutiny of Russian sailors on the Tsarist battleship Potemkin in 1905. The film is universally acknowledged to be one of the greatest films of all time. Eisenstein's directorial vision and genius exhibited in this film is constantly being studied and copied. This 16mm film presentation of Battleship Potemkin at the Noe Valley Branch on Wednesday evening, January 19th, begins at 7 p.m. The Noe Valley Sally Brunn Memorial Branch Library is located at 451 Jersey Street and is open to the public on Tuesday from 10 a.m. to noon, closed for lunch, and is open again from 1 to 6 p.m. Wednesdays, the branch is open from 1 to 9 p.m., and Thursday, Friday, and Saturday from 1 to 6 p.m. The main library offers a free orientation to the San Francisco Public Library System and the new online public access catalog every first Saturday of the month. The sessions run for an hour and provide a basic introduction to the library and its collections. Library orientations on the first Saturday of the month begin at 2 p.m. and take place in the Lurie Room of the main library. Times and schedules may change. Call 557-4400 for more information. Serving the city of San Francisco since 1917, the main library located in Civic Center at Larkin and McAllister Streets is open on Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Tuesdays with evening hours from 12 noon to 9 p.m. and Friday 12 to 6 p.m. The San Francisco room on the third floor is open on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Fridays from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. Thursday and Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 12 noon, and 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. The Rare Book Room is open to the public on Wednesday and Fridays from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m., Thursdays from 10 a.m. to 12 noon, and Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 12 noon, and again from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. On display at the main library now through the end of March are two fascinating and lively exhibitions that focus on two different aspects of San Francisco's colorful history. On the third floor of the main library, you'll find the exhibit Gifts to the City, a selection of the accolades and artifacts which have been presented to San Francisco's mayors by donors from around the world. The items on display are from the collection of the library's San Francisco History Room. The History Room staff assembled the exhibit, which contains a variety of unique items, such as this copper replica of an Armenian cathedral door panel, presented to Mayor Agnos by the Soviet Armenian Earthquake Relief Committee, and this lovely blue Delft plate, which was created for the 50th anniversary of the Golden Gate Bridge and was presented by the Netherlands community to Mayor Feinstein. On display with the gifts are portraits of all of San Francisco's mayors, starting with John White Geary, the city's first mayor in 1850, and leading up to San Francisco's 39th mayor, Frank Jordan. The Gifts to the City exhibit on the third floor of the main library runs through the end of March. Don't miss this opportunity to enjoy these seldom exhibited treasures. On display in the main library's second-floor rotunda is an exhibition celebrating the centennial of the California Midwinter International Exposition. The exhibit features programs, photographs, prints, souvenirs, and other rarely seen memorabilia from the Forgotten World's Fair held in Golden Gate Park in 1894. The exhibit was organized by the San Francisco History Association and sponsored by the library's San Francisco History Room. A centennial journey, the California Midwinter Fair exhibit runs through the end of March. And to find out more about all aspects of San Francisco history, come to the main library's San Francisco History Room. Located on the third floor of the main library, the San Francisco History Room contains a vast collection of books, maps, articles, and documents pertaining to San Francisco history. The History Room hours of operation are Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 1 to 6 p.m. Thursdays and Saturdays, 10 a.m. to noon, closed for the lunch hour, and reopen again from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. The History Room is closed on Sundays and Mondays.